I just saw another Signs of the Times post on Facebook. And you know exactly the kind that I'm talking about. The signs of the times are everywhere. Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Floods, fires, earthquakes, famine, too many to count. They are not the norm. The Lord's return is very near. You know, one of these days I am going to get off of Facebook, but it is not this day. Because I still need content for these videos. And Facebook never ceases to provide great content. These sorts of posts that we've all seen saying that Jesus is coming back because if you will just look around and see the signs of the times, they sound so biblical, right? But that phrase, signs of the times, it is not as central to the Bible as you might think. And the passages that are often used to support that idea, they actually say the opposite of what most people are thinking. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, I'm Colin, the resident nerd and Bible scholar here at the Bible Uncut and Unfiltered. That phrase, signs of the times, actually only appears once in the entirety of Scripture. That's Matthew 16:3. But it has nothing to do with end times as we tend to think of them. Jesus is actually condemning the Pharisees in that particular passage who are asking him for a sign. He says that they can predict tomorrow's weather by looking at the sky, but that they can't recognize that God is working right in front of them through his action. So that word times that we have in English, it's really this meaning of seasons. He is making a weather analogy. He is saying you should be able to tell that I am doing God's work just by what you see me doing, just like how you predict weather patterns. So that verse is Christological, not eschatological. In other words, and less theological terminology, it is about recognizing Jesus, not about predicting the end of the world. Here's what we know historically. Earthquakes, floods, fires, famines, storms, they have been happening since the world began. The major difference in this last century is not that these events are more frequent or more severe. It is that now we have 24/7 global news coverage and social media. Think about it with me. Even just a couple hundred years ago, if there was a massive earthquake in, say, Japan, someone in Europe would likely never know about it. Today, we know about every disaster worldwide happening within minutes. And of course it's going to seem like there's more disasters going on. We are aware of all of them now, not just the ones happening in our neighborhood. The illusion of increased frequency is just that, an illusion created by increased information. Now, let's talk about what Jesus actually said. Everyone loves to quote Matthew 24 as their go-to end times passage. Let me read verses 4-7 of that for you. Take heed that no one deceive you, that you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must need be, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation. There will be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Did you catch the crucial phrase in verse 6? The end is not yet. Jesus literally said that wars, disasters, chaos, they are proof that the end is still distant, not that the end is near. The very things that people point to as signs of the end coming are what Jesus said prove the end is not here yet. We have completely flipped around the meaning of his message. There's another thing that we get wrong too about this, though. In ancient Jewish thinking, the way that Jesus and the biblical authors would have thought, there were two ages, the current age and the age to come when God fully renews creation. So what we often call end times passages aren't actually about destruction and death. Even the word apocalypse that we have in the Bible does not mean destruction as it has come to mean in so many movies today. It literally just means an unveiling or a revealing. It is about God's revealing how the world was always supposed to be. These passages are not about escaping the world, but rather about the world being transformed. And here's the kicker. When we take individual verses from different books written hundreds of years apart and stitch them together to create our own end times theology, we are making a Frankenstein's monster out of Scripture. Each biblical book has its own context and its own message. Good theology never sacrifices immediate context for a broader point. And side note here, for those who believe in the rapture and left behind kind of theology that are often going to be reposting this sort of thing. If you think Christians get raptured before tribulation, Matthew 24 should actually be a problem for you and not something you should be constantly posting. Because Jesus is talking to his disciples, presumably Christians in our Christian terminology, they believe Jesus. He is telling them about going through these difficult times, not about being whisked away from them. So it does not even match the traditional dispensationalist theology of people who post these sorts of things. So what is Jesus actually saying here? Well, simple. As long as there are wars and rumors of wars and natural disasters, we have not reached humanity's ultimate potential, what the Greeks called telos. Is not this the story of every generation then? Wars, conflicts, disasters, they keep happening. Jesus was saying, yes, this stuff will continue. Don't freak out. Don't think the sky is falling. This is just the state of things. The point isn't to look for signs so we can escape. The point is to work towards ending the wars, healing the divisions, and making the world better. That is how we reach peak humanity. Christians have been predicting the end of the world since the time of Jesus. We have been wrong every single time. Every generation thinks they're the last one. So instead of obsessing over being taken out of this world, maybe we should focus on making it a better place while we are here. Instead of reading the Bible in one hand and a newspaper in the other looking for quote-unquote signs, maybe we should be reading the Bible and asking, how can I be a part of God's renewal of this world right now? Because the kingdom of heaven isn't just about the future. It's about how we live today.